What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about teams Colts fans need to root for this weekend. But before I do that, if you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon. That way you're notified whenever I upload a video or go live. If you like this video, smack the like button. Let me know down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? There's one match in particular I'm very curious to know by. And also, if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me at Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There is a link in the description down below that will take you directly to my Twitter. So if you have one, make sure you follow me on Twitter. So, before I get into who to root for, who not to root for, let's get into the AFC playoff standings. So, at number 1 is the Patriots. At number 2 is the Titans. At number 3 is the Ravens. At number 4 is the Chiefs. At number 5 is the Chargers. At number 6 is the Bengals. And at number 7 is the Bills. Now, going to the teams on the outside looking in. At number 8 is the Steelers. At 9 is the Colts. At 10 is the Raiders. At 11 is the Browns. At 12 is the Broncos. And surprisingly, getting back into the playoff conversation at 13 is the Miami Dolphins. Now, if you asked me 3-4 weeks ago, hey, do you think the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs? I would have told you no. But now here they are with a legit chance to make the playoffs. They're only down, 2.5 games from 7 right now? So they might be able to sneak in. We're going to find out as the season goes on. We only got a few weeks left. It's not that long until playoff time. So we'll see if they are, going to go on a run and eventually make the playoffs. I would be very curious to see if they end up sneaking in. So with all that being said, let's get into the teams Colts fans need to root for this weekend. We're going to start with the obvious ones first. We're going to go NFC versus AFC to start this off. You have the Vikings, Steelers, you root for the Vikings, Lions, Broncos, root for the Lions, Giants, Chargers, root for the Giants, 49ers, Bengals, root for the 49ers, Bucks, Bills, root for the Bucks, although it's going to hurt to root for Tom Brady. And then you got the Jaguars and the Titans, the first AFC versus AFC matchup. You clearly root for the Jaguars to beat the Titans, and I think that could happen. The Titans are dealing with a bunch of injuries. They aren't themselves right now. If they were going to lose to a team like Jacksonville, this would be the time to lose to that team. Jacksonville has some pieces on that team that I think are pretty solid, and I like. Trevor Lawrence is not having the greatest year yet, but honestly, I think Trevor Lawrence can go into Tennessee with all the injuries that they're facing right now, and I think he could go in there and win. This would be a really, really big win for him and Urban Meyer. I think it can happen. It probably is not going to happen, but hey, never say never. I think it's a legit possibility to see Jacksonville beat the Titans. So root for them, because if that happens, that gap will decrease, and then you could potentially see the Colts later on in week 15 or 16 maybe take over in the AFC South. So root for Jacksonville to win that matchup. So with the obvious matchups out of the way, let's get into a few more matchups. We only got 2 that aren't so obvious. And the first one we're going to talk about today is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. And in my opinion, and I think in all of your opinions, you would want Kansas City to win over the Raiders. The reason why I say that is because the Chiefs from here on out need to win their divisional matchups. Every single team in that division still has a shot to make the playoffs. The Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, they're all in that wild card hunt. They could get one of those final spots, for sure. So, you would want Kansas City to win against all the teams in their division that they're going to play from here on out. The only way you would want Kansas City to lose in any of those matchups is if we take the lead in the AFC South, and there's a chance we could jump over Kansas City. In that instance, okay, root for Kansas City to lose those matchups, but for now, we're only focused on getting into the wild card. So you would want Kansas City to win against those divisional matchups because those teams still have a chance to make the playoffs. You want them to be behind the Colts as far as possible. So root for Kansas City to beat the Raiders. Okay, and the last matchup we're going to be talking about today is the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. And in my opinion, root for the Ravens to beat the Browns. Now, I understand why somebody would say no, root for the Browns to beat the Ravens. The reason why I say that is because if the Browns were to win against Baltimore, yes, our lead would decrease over Cleveland, which would mean if we would lose a game or two, there's a better chance Cleveland could jump us and end up making the playoffs over us. But Baltimore's lead over us would also decrease. So, that meaning if we took the lead in the AFC South, we could potentially jump Baltimore. So, that's the reason why I understand why people say no, root for the Browns to win. However, here's the reason why I believe you would want the Ravens to beat the Browns. Now, similar to why you would want the Chiefs to beat the Raiders, you want the Ravens to win every single game against a divisional opponent. The Steelers, Bengals, Browns, you want the Ravens to win all those games. Now, if the Colts were able to take the lead in the AFC South, then you would want the Ravens to start losing those games so the Ravens fall behind the Colts. But since the Colts aren't winning their division right now, you want the Ravens to win against their divisional opponents. That way, the lead that you have over those teams will continue to increase. Or a team that might be ahead of the Colts that are in that division, they'll fall behind the Colts, and then that lead starts to increase for the Colts over that team like the Bengals. So that's one reason why I believe you want the Ravens to beat the Browns. Also, the Ravens actually have a pretty difficult schedule to finish the year off, so there's still a chance, even if they win this game, that maybe the Colts take the lead in the AFC South and then they could still jump the Ravens, even with the Ravens winning this game. I don't think the Browns have as difficult of a schedule. They have some other issues going on, and I think that's going to hurt them down the road. But still, you want the Ravens to win. That way, your lead increases over the Browns, especially since you're on a bye week and you can't really win another game until week 14. So there you guys have it. Just to recap, you want the Vikings to beat the Steelers, the Lions to beat the Broncos, the Giants to beat the Chargers, the 49ers to beat the Bengals, the Bucks to beat the Bills, the Jaguars to beat the Titans, the Chiefs to beat the Raiders, and the Ravens to beat the Browns. Now, here's something interesting for you guys, and this is something to think about. If the Vikings beat the Steelers, the Giants beat the Chargers, the 49ers beat the Bengals, and the Bucks beat the Bills, not only will the Colts be back in the playoffs, the Colts will be number 5 in AFC, which would be insane. Because if the Titans do start losing some games, and the Colts can get up to 5th, there's a really, really good chance the Colts and the Titans will battle again in the wild card, and that would be a lot of fun to watch. We'll see how everything plays out. Should be a fun finish for the NFL season. I'm very excited, but thank you all for watching. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me if you do so. Also, click the bell icon. That way you're notified whenever I upload a video or go live. If you like this video, smack the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know all that down below. And also, if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There is a link that will take you to my Twitter in the description down below. So thank you all for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.